I'm Jennifer Lee Levitz, and we're here today with a community update from the U.S. Census 2020. And I have with me Ann D. Williams, and she's with the Census, and Lucy Sheehan, who is executive director of the Gloucester Council on Aging. And I'm going to turn this over to Lucy, who will speak with Ann as a community organization representative. There you go, ladies.
Thanks, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Lucy.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. It's
Great.
good to see you.
Good to see you also. So this is a very busy time for you. I'm going to let you speak first about the census, and then I will have a little input. All right?
Great, thank you. Well, Lucy and I and the Council on Aging have been working together to inform people about the census for at least a year, over a year now. The 2020 census has started. People have been receiving their information in the mail. They can go online to complete their census. They can use the phone, or they can, as I said, do it in the mail. We've been working, the Census Bureau, with partners across Cape Ann and the North Shore to make sure everyone understands what the census is and what it is not. We ask some very basic questions, and we want to make sure everyone understands that their responses are kept private and confidential and cannot be shared with any law enforcement, immigration, the courts. So everything is kept very private and confidential. Right now in Massachusetts, we have a 59.6% response rate, and that rate for people who have self-responded to the census. So 59.6% of the people in Massachusetts have responded. In Essex County, we have 61.9% of the population who has self-responded. And just to give you that information for Gloucester, we have 56.2% of people who have responded. And in Rockport, we have 58.7%. So we still have a good number of people who can self-respond. You can still respond to the census. And if someone has a question about it, they can go to our website, which is 2020census.gov. I'm going to stop and see if Lucy has questions that she thinks some of her population might be interested in.
Well, I don't have any questions so much as I just want to inform the seniors that the staff, and we had some volunteers here at the Senior Center that have been trained by you in order to help people complete their census online here at the Senior Center, whether they do it themselves with our computers or whether we do it, whether we help them. I actually did mine online, and it really was very simple. If you just go to the email address, that the website address that Ann just gave you, and it takes you right to the census, and you just need to click on one little button, and it brings you right to the form. There are not very many questions. The census is just about counting people and where they live, and that's what it's all about. And as we know, the federal government does this only every 10 years, and it's always on the 0 year. So it's very important that people do get counted. It actually means a lot on money that goes to the districts, how large they are, and the needs in those districts. So that's what the census is really all about. So there are not really very many questions. It's very simple. And as I said, it's mainly about counting you and where you live. And that's what it's all about. I don't think there was anything on there that seniors really need to be questioning or worried about, because there's nothing much on there that they have to be concerned about. It's just answering a few questions. It just doesn't take very long. And if you prefer to do it on the paper ballot, that's already been mailed to you, because I know I received one in the mail myself. And you can see by looking at it, it's very simple. So hopefully people will answer the census because it is important. That's not a very high number at this point in time with people who are responding. So I think that now is the time for people for stretching and to get rid of and have a lot less stressing and just hop over even to your computer and enter your census, or either just take that piece of the paper that they sent you with the census questions on it and answer it. I believe the envelope is actually self-addressed, isn't it? You don't even put a stamp on it.
Yes.
So, and
Yep.
you can just mail it back. So
Yes.
I think that it's important that you answer the census.
Great. Thank you, Lucy. And just a few things to add in our area. If someone has a seasonal home and they're either not here yet or they're going to be coming here, what they need to do is they still need to complete the census for that address because we count every housing unit. So what they would do is if they have a house that's only used in the summer, they would go and say that housing unit is not lived in year round. And that's how we would know that the housing units that are here are not occupied full time. And the reason that's important is because that will help our numbers go up to show that people have responded for the housing units. The other important piece is that people need to count themselves where they are. April 1st is our time frame, so wherever they were on April 1st, and they should always include young children, newborns. The one exception is college students. So if college students are home now or have been home since before April 1st because of COVID-19, they still should be counted at their college if they're living on campus. So they wouldn't be counted at home, even though they've been living at home for a couple of months.
Okay.
They're counted at their college. And finally, on the census website, there is something called the response rates mapper. And that tells you every day what the response rate is from different states, counties, cities, and towns. And it's very exciting to look and see how our responses are doing. So I, like Lucy, encourage everyone to go online or to call the census, because if they don't have access to the internet, they can call to complete their census on the phone as well.
Okay.
In any way,
I know I said I wasn't going to butt in, but I have two questions.
Yes.
You kept saying self-respond. So if people don't self-respond, what happens?
Yes, that's a good
How does
question.
something happen?
Yes. So if people don't self-respond, eventually, when it is safe to do so, the Census Bureau will have census takers that go out into the community,
They will.
follow up with people who haven't responded. So in order to keep everyone safe, we're requesting as many people respond as possible so that we can minimize the number of people out in the community.
Okay. And I did receive more than one notice in the mail because, of course, I'm a procrastinator and I haven't done mine yet, but I promised to do it today. Absolutely, after we speak. So I've received more than one notice, including a postcard and 2 or 3 versions of the form.
Yes.
Is that usual?
Yes, if you don't respond, we'll continue to communicate with you. But at any time from now on, like you said, you can go online or you can fill out the form today and send it in. And that's all we're still in that process of collecting that information.
You know, I was a census taker in the last census.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how it's changed or what it's done, but this is so much easier to just do it by mail or online or on the phone instead of having some poor person walk all over the hills and dales, having to knock on some pretty strange doors. You know, would it be fair to say that, as Lucy put it, it's really easy, and once you're done, you're done, and you don't have to think about it, and it takes away from all our stress.
Right. And it also helps us plan for our next 10 years. The funding we get from the federal government, based on our numbers, helps us plan for healthcare, for infrastructure, for schools, for senior care. So there are a lot of reasons to do it. And it's really important that you do it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yes, and remember, April 1st is the date, wherever you were living on April 1st. That was very good information. And also students, it's important right now for students, as you said, if they were actually the residences in a campus, they're not supposed to be registering for the census as living at home if their
Right.
actual residences in another state.
Right.
Those are important.
Did we give an easy place for people to get more information about the census in general? Because this is directed right now to seniors, but of course everybody is involved with the census. And what might be other sources of information? People have questions like, how come on the shows on television where they go back and show records of people and they say, well, in the census of 1801, it shows people living here and everything like that. How does that relate to people today?
So, as I said before, all of the census information is protected by federal law. After 72 years, census information is turned over to the National Archives. And so then that's when people use it for genealogy research.
That's it, genealogy. So it's 72 years. So nobody can
Yes.
look at this for 72 years.
Right.
And even
Right.
though our lifespan is expanding, most of us won't have to worry about the 72 years.
Yes.
So,
And
but I do want to let seniors know, especially, that we are here at the Senior Center. If you do need some help with the census, you can call us at 281-978-281-9765, and we will be glad to help you, steer you in the right direction for you to complete your census.
I'm going to repeat that again. 978-281-9765
Correct.
for the Senior Center. Is there any other phone number or address you would like to repeat, Anne?
just the website, which is 2020census.gov. I think if people do have questions, the best place to start is with the Senior Center. And then there is a phone number for the Census Bureau, but the website has a lot more information. So,
Okay, and you don't have to be a senior to call the Senior Center.
That's right. And remember, if you do not complete your census yourself, self-completion, someone will knock at your door. Correct?
right, right,
And
right.
then you'll be sorry. No.
So do the census yourself. It's a lot easier. And it's a lot
Yes.
easier for the Census Bureau to compile it, also when it's online. It's easier for
Yes.
them to compile the numbers.
It'll cost less money.
And Jennifer, too, one of the things that we have this time for 2020 is you can do your census in 13 non-English languages. So if someone really wants to complete the census in Portuguese, Italian, Spanish, they can call the Census Bureau and they will speak to someone in those languages who can help them complete their census over the phone.
Okay, and that phone number do you have that phone number?
Well, they're all they're different phone numbers depending
on languages.
The languages. They can also complete the census in that language online too.
Yes, they'll ask you right online when you open the site, they'll ask you which language you want to do your census in.
Right.
Okay.
So that there's an option there for people to do it in different languages.
Okay, that's terrific.
It is, yeah.
It is. So anything else before we sign off?
No, I just want to thank Lucy for all the work she's done. She's been a great partner for the census and a great advocate for the citizens. So that's great.
Thank you, Anne. And there's lots of information about the census in our May newsletter, as there has been for the last several months. So if anyone that receives our newsletter would like some information, there are lots of questions answered right in our newsletter. And thank you, Anne, for all the work you're doing to complete the census for the federal government. So everyone gets counted.
I just want to make one revision to what I just said. I wanted to thank you for what you do for residents, because it's everyone's included in the census. All of the people who live here. So it's all of our residents. Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Lucy. And that's it for the community update at 1623 Studios. The Rose Baker Senior Center is a member of the Cape Ann Census Complete Count Committee, along with the Sawyer Free Library and other nonprofits, businesses, and public officials, all of whom are promoting the importance of a complete and accurate census count. If you need assistance completing your census, please call Rose Baker at 978-281-9765. All members of the staff at Rose Baker are trained to help and answer your questions. Or if you prefer, you can go online to www.2020census.gov, or you may call in English at 844-330-2020, in Spanish 844-468-2020, or in Portuguese 844-474-2020. It is important to complete a census for all properties, including seasonal homes. If you live in multiple places throughout the year, count yourself at the address where you live and sleep most of the time. If you split your time evenly between two or more places, count yourself where you were staying on April 1st, 2020. However, and this is important, a census response is required from each and every property. If you have more questions, and you probably do, about this aspect of the census, remember you can call in English at 844-330-2020, or Spanish 844-468-2020, or Portuguese 844-474-2020. You can go online, www.2020census.gov. Thank you.